Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. So, it's been a little while since I've recorded this. So, I've done a couple of test games based off of this save that I just loaded, which is the save from the end of part 15, the most recent part. So I have some ideas as to how I think we're gonna go about continuing our attempts to form Großdeutschland. So, first things first, I am going to go ahead and not release Egypt, but rather the kingdom of Matra, which will take all the same land. Basically, we're giving our African colonies some independence. The reason being quite simply that I do not have the means to defend that territory, nor am I able to actively take advantage of it. So I don't really benefit from owning that territory directly myself right now. So it's easier to just let it go. They will build their own armies and their own factories and whatnot. But they will always be a satellite of ours. They'll never be able to develop that land to do anything too significant. Second thing is we're going to have to go and focus on getting our military repaired. So you are getting your last infantry and your hussar. You need an infantry. I'm gonna go ahead and move you all the way over to here. And what do you need? You need a artillery, because we're sort of in a rush to try and get our stuff back as it should be. What do you need? You need 2 infantry. You need an infantry and a artillery. Two artillery, rather. And of course the game wants to put you there. Slight change of plans then. Damn it. Now the game wants to put you there. That's actually very annoying. There we go. Just that, move a couple things around a little. You need an infantry. And I can't really give you that infantry right this second. Actually, that's not true. Mark you as a rally point and tell this to build an infantry. And you need artillery. I may be... Probably not. Okay, no, that did work. Okay, so you need artillery, so switch you to an artillery. I tell you to build an infantry, and... Damn it, okay, never mind. Okay, we're just gonna... That army's gonna have to wait a little bit. But whatever, let's get that done. We have a truce with the French until August of 1888. So we have 2 years to get our army ready to go. We have another year for the South Germans, and then another 2 years for Prussia. And I didn't start my timer. I should probably do that. You are December of 1888, which is a little annoying. But we'll live. So, I know we're still above 25 infamy, so the French are going to declare a containment war against us, probably immediately upon the truce expiring or shortly thereafter. If they don't, I'm going to be the one, but, well, no, I don't want to declare it. If I declare it, then I have to fight the Russians. Which, I mean, I can do. I did it in one of the 2 test runs that I did off this save. But it's kind of a pain in the ass, so I'd rather avoid it if all possible. And fight just the French and their spherelings. Now, it would be great if I could get Spain back into my sphere, but that's not going to happen. They are way too much effort to try and get in, and they're not really that useful. I mean, even if I got them in my sphere, it doesn't matter. I would need an alliance to get anywhere. Speaking of that, let's see if we can snag Colombia, so we can build the Panama Canal. I have yet to succeed at that, running these test runs. Let's just upgrade everybody's infrastructure. Get all that sweet economy score. Kind of wish there was a way you could, like, I don't know, Control-Shift-Click and it'll do it for an entire country. Working its way out from the province that you, or the region that you pressed at. But no, the best I can do is Control-Click everywhere. Which can be very slow and time-consuming. Also, I assume... yeah, the Ottomans haven't bothered upgrading their African territories. They're complete and utter crap. Let's upgrade Persia. Let's give Portuguese India a little bit of love. Help the Dutch out with their colonies. And Portuguese as well, of course, because, you know, we share. And I'm gonna not spend any more, because I actually already spent quite a bit. We'll help Greece out a little as well. And finish with Sardinia, Piedmont. Apparently I missed a couple places there. Okay, but now we're done. I'm not breaking in the dough as much as I was in my test run right now. Actually, I don't need to do that to the Prussians, don't I? No, they're 10. Whatever. I already did it, so a little too late to worry about it now. Also, is only the people that need to be at 3 at 3? No. Frankfurt does not need to be at 3 priority. Yes, enforce the Austrian curricula. I would like to have the assimilation rate and, you know what, a little bit of free research points is never a bad thing. And I really need to get my forts upgraded. Particularly along my borders. Okay, now South Germany has become, or so the South German Federation has become a great power again. Prussia's getting the usual communists. And they'll just sort of sit there and wait, but once they build up their army again, they'll go and deal with them. Conservatives lost some membership. Not that big of a deal. The places where we already have 4% clergymen, let's take them out. And I'm going to go ahead and focus on craftsmen. Try and get our industry to explode. And Matur is... or Matra, rather, excuse me, is slowly building up an army. It will never be a particularly massive army, and I think their tech is actually pretty crap. They're 18 out of 30 with 100% military tactics. Okay, now they're the same as me. They just suck at it, apparently. That, or the French actually have a decent army down here. I'm not quite sure which it is, because every time I've gone to war and France has been involved in my test runs, Matra always loses pretty much all of their territory to France. Random military leader died, that's fine. Also, another thing I remembered I need to do. Because I pretty much always double stack my armies, there's not much reason for me to have them run around as single individual 30 stacks. So I'm just going to go ahead and merge them all into nice big 60 stacks. Make somewhat more efficient use of my generals. And it also makes my life a little bit easier when it comes to the management side of things. Minority building restrictions. Yes, I want the assimilation rate. Not that it really matters too much. Botanical expedition stranded. Yes, the cause for science demands it. Wonderful, get you up there. Okay, now what were you needing again? Infantry. Okay, you two will merge, and you two will merge, and then I can try and build myself another army. Are you having a hard time getting the Hussar? Yes, I think you were. Wonderful. I'm going to actually merge you two because it's just easier right now. Actually, go to Milan. You go to Brescia. You go to Verona. You go to Padua. You go to Freiburg. You go to Karlsruhe, or however the hell it's pronounced. And actually, you go to Bergamo. What is that? Bergamo? Yeah, sure, Bergamo. That's what we'll call it. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what we're gonna call it. Wonderful. You go and meet up at actually, no. Go to Mannheim. Wonderful, that's done. Also, let's real quick go and get iron steamers. So first we gotta research regular steamers, that way we can build the Suez Canal. Ooh. International crisis for the liberation of Poland. Now, so I'm just going to go note this before Poland potentially asks me to help them. Well, one, I can't help them. If I help them, nobody will join on my side. So I'm going to have to decline that for just outright, no matter what. It needs to be somebody else, like the British or something. But the British are involved in a war, so preferably the French. Preferably the French will go and help the Poles, although they probably won't, because that's liberation of territory owned by Russia, and those two are allies, so yeah. Either way, continuing on. If Poland gains their independence, they can use one of their national focuses to increase tension in any territory that I own, that they have a core on. And, well, surprise, surprise, I have quite a few territories that the Poles have cores in. So it's kind of in my best interest not to have Poland gain independence. So we'll see how this all works out. But no, sorry, Poland. And as a result, the crisis dies out. I knew they were going to ask me. It was pretty much guaranteed. I don't know how the game decided that. It probably went down the list, asked France, and then asked me. And then asked the US, but I don't know. Either way, the game had a list that it went down, basically. Yeah, I'm going to give up on Colombia. I've never succeeded at getting them, and it's just not going to happen. So rather than waste all the effort trying to get it to happen. So merge you two, and you need a another infantry. Ooh, I've never had Ruthurian nationalists. Well, no, go there, and then head back to Verona once you're done dealing with those guys. Oh, shit. German pan-nationalists. And I can't enter your territory because you hate me, and... Normally I don't do this. Particularly live. Whoops, wrong country. But I can't have German pan-nationalists ruining this whole thing, so... And they would, trust me, because South Germany is also a great power. However the hell the game decides who to ask for the pan-nationalists, it would ask them, and then they would unite all of the German miners, which would just be an annoyance. So, yeah, I had to do that. And now we got Jacobin rebels. Those guys will become a pain in the ass, but until I form Germany, I can't actually really do any political reforms. So it's kind of a, why the hell are they getting on my nerves? I don't get the upper house being in favor of any political reforms. As Austria. Admittedly, yes, my consciousness is also pretty low, so that also affects it. But nonetheless, my general point still stands that nobody really is trying to get me to do anything. More Prussian communists rising up. And you see, they could easily crush Prussia's army if they just took these two armies. Oh god, AI, why are you so bad? I mean, the obvious thing that the Prussian communists should try to do is take out the army if they can, and they can. This army single-handedly should be able to do it. But they refuse to. Oh, okay, well, the Prussian army just screwed up. So, is Prussia going to go communist? That actually might make my life easier, because I don't think the AI does a good job at managing communist economies. Because I think it sucks at the whole building infrastructure itself thing, which would partly explain why Two Sicilies is still not as great as they could be. Also, Two Sicilies, actually, how far behind you are you from Scandinavia? We'll just round and say 100 points, although it's really 70. Ah, yes. Let's turn off all of these. I don't need them anymore. I just need the one in Vienna. Okay, and let's build an army of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry. And 2 hussars, and then 10 artillery. It is 10, right? I wasn't counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good, wonderful. Because we're now going to be just running around with 60 stack armies, because it's just easier for me to manage. Damn it, you lost your artillery. And I'm not replacing that, I'm sorry. Actually, I could. I'm just going to have to remember to pay attention to Bosun. Assuming I can get all the artillery necessary, because it's quite a bit of artillery. Actually, canned foods will also be a bit of a hard thing to get. You know, despite the fact that canned foods should be... Yeah, it's supposed to be not in high demand, which is surprising to say the least. Considering how much stuff I just tried to buy. And it has quite a bit of supply, and... Technically, supply is outstripping demand. So, yeah, no, I shouldn't have a hard time getting canned goods, but I will. Maybe it's just because the game fills these things up sort of one at a time as it goes down the list. I don't know. Oh yes, you won't have a... Yes, France won't have a truce with the Netherlands. Get the hell out of the Netherlands. You don't see me going for Belgium. Well, yet. Also, I'm actually going to go ahead and kick tariffs up a little. And then lower taxes. Also, I'm going to bump up education and administration spending. Belgian communists. Yeah, they were never going to succeed. Oh yes, you know, I should probably make sure that you stay in my sphere and nobody else tries to influence you, so I'm going to kick you up to 3 priority just to fill you out. And conservatives lose members, which isn't surprising to say the least. Nope, you're infantry. I'm actually just going to probably grab the first artillery I see built. Shit. This is what I get for not paying attention. I didn't realize any were being built up here. God damn it. Okay. I wasn't paying attention to what those were. 4. Okay, I think those were all infantry. So I only have 4 infantry right now. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what you get for not paying attention. Didn't realize those territories were up there, and since I don't have a land connection, I can't really use them. It's August, correct, with you, right? Yes. And how long do I have on my timer? I might have to wait till next part. Got 9 minutes on my timer. Yeah, we may not make it to August in 9 minutes. I'm not sure. It depends. Infantry. Where's the first artillery that's going to be done? Looks like Vienna. Infantry. Holy crap, a 17 stack, well, technically it's not 17 stack, but whatever. 17,000 Prussian troops are losing to 1,000, well, it was 2,000 communist rebels. Or, well, Prussian rebels. Oh, they're communists. Prussian communist rebels. There we go. Am I not built? I keep forgetting that I miss out on 2 late ships for that navy. I'll do it after the war with France. There we go. That's done. Now we can get electricity. And let's build the Suez Canal. So we get Suez back from our African colonies. And sadly, they don't let me build stuff in their territories because they follow my party when they get liberated, which has protectionism, so actually, no, you have free state. Your economic policy is state capitalism. Yeah, you get a different, a very different conservative party than mine. Well, not very different, actually. It's fairly similar. Your trade policy, though, is free trade with state capitalism as your economic policy. I think the rest of the stuff is the same. Well, my conservative party is protectionism and interventionism. No, my religious is moralism as well. Actually, yours is pluralism. But then the other two are the same. Residency and pro-military. Granted, I also do have other conservative parties, or at least I will once I've found Grossdeutschland. Colombia fears our might. There's no reason to fear me, Colombia. I will not be sailing across the Atlantic to go after you. That is just way too much freaking work. Disperse them. And, oh yes, that artillery is being built in Vienna, so I don't actually, get to select it because the army's meeting in Vienna. So we'll steal the one in Krems. Sorry, I need you over here. That army will get the guy from Bozen. So my plan is for these 3 armies to march in and take Alsace-Lorraine. We're going to be taking that during this war. It doesn't cost us any infamy, so there's not much reason for us not to do it. These armies will deal with sieging down all of this stuff. I think I have enough armies. You go to Ferrara. You go to Modena. You'll take Parma. You'll take Alessandria. And you'll go to Navarra. Yes. Granted, I'll need to move these armies around, so there will be gaps in this line because the French typically seem to attack from the south. When I ran these tests, if I have armies up here. If I have no armies up here, then they'll attack from the north. But then they'll head all the way down here and siege this stuff down rather than siege this stuff down because I've got no idea. It's just the way the AI works. It works in mysterious ways, and by that I mean it's very weird. Okay, wonderful, you are at max. Netherlands. Let's drop you up to, or kick you up to 2 points. I mean, technically I could try and influence Prussia once our truce expires. I won't, though. Yes, excellent idea. We'll spend the 250 to have that. And Austrian Sinai, or Sinai rather. Yeah, you're not going to get built up. I just want you to know that. Actually, interestingly, that actually makes it to where it's not a colonial state for me. Very interesting. And we got some new ships we can build if we wish to. Regional trade fair is open. Welcome our neighbors. Expires August 18th. We have actually managed to make it to August. Question is whether or not they'll declare war on me before the truce with Russia expires, and I kind of hope they do, because I don't want to deal with Russia immediately. Although Russia will still invade me, I should note. Russia will still invade. They'll declare their own war in that case. But I'd rather them be on two different truce schedules. Just makes my life easier to manage if I only need to try and kick the French out quickly before I have to turn around and deal with the Russians. It's kind of... okay, yep, the Prussian communists are now losing. Okay, the truce has expired. And again, if I declare war on you, I'll have to deal with the Russians. I don't want to declare war on you, though. Because I don't want to have to deal with the Russians immediately. I'd rather have a little bit of leeway to focus on you. And my timer has 1:30. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually cut this just a little short. We're going to end this part here. Next part, we will be in a war with the French. Either because I will be forced to declare it, which I don't want to have to do, but we might just have to. No, yeah, it doesn't matter if I declare it or not. They should declare the war on me at some point. They'll either ask the Russians to join them or they won't. If they do, I'm going to have to actually mobilize my my reserves. For the first time we've ever actually had to do it. I think I accidentally did it once. But yeah, so it'll be the first time we actually have to do this. If Russia's in the war, because they'll be a pain to deal with. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time. Quick reminder, I do have a Patreon, link that down in the description below, so if you enjoy the content, that is the easiest and best way to help support the channel. For as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to all of my videos. But nonetheless, as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you all next time. But until then, goodbye and farewell. And let me save, though, before I actually end the part. So yes, I will see you all next time.